Good afternoon, everyone. We've got a game here in ITSL, organised by Luis Basmex. I'm playing Hervé, Imperialist. He's USA +2, I am USSR. Let's see how we do. Yes, please. Otherwise, we can't play. So, this game is also being streamed by ActionRoundZero. So you can go and watch it there and have people making much more insightful comments than me, standardly. Right, so we'll 4-4-1. We don't have independent reds, so that's fine. That's a no-brainer. So let's commit that. So our two options for the headline that jump out are socialist governments cooing Italy or captured Nazi scientist. Let's see how they set up. So standard setup for them as well. Quick headline. So let's plug in our cards before I do anything else. We've got tons of options actually, because we could also Vietnam revolt. So quite a nice ops-richy hand. So socialist governments coup Italy, or Arab-Israeli war, coup Iran, or Vietnam revolts. Vietnam revolts, coup Iran with duck and cover, I suppose. And if Vietnam revolts is defected, we're left with more ops because we've not used socialist governments, yeah? But a wealth of choices here. Wealth of choices. An embarrassment of riches. Well, I'm going to deviate from the expert opinion sooner rather than later. So let's go Vietnam revolts and coup Iran with duck and cover. And will it defect? It does defect. So that solves that wee problem. So, what shall we do instead? We could use US-Japan to put 2 in Iraq and 2 in Afghanistan. And then we could use duck and cover to coup Pakistan if they play in there. We don't want to use Marshall Plan if we can avoid it. Or we could tap West Germany to get access to France and also play into Afghanistan. So a couple of choices. But an interesting start to the game. Let's use Comic-Con and threaten France to start, because we've got socialist governments to cause some trouble as well. So Vietnam revolts got defected. Well, they've got lots of ops as well. Alright, so now we'll event socialist governments, put 2 in France and 1 in Italy. Will we do that? Because then they have to... Well, they don't have to get a coup off, do they? Alright, now... No. Now we'll event captured Nazi scientists and hope they don't have Europe scoring, or we've just handed them domination. That was probably overly eager by me in Europe. But we'll see. The experts are on the other channel. Dropping Asia scoring. Okay, so they don't have Europe scoring or Middle East scoring. So now we can consider how to take the game. This is fine. And if they play into Pakistan, we can try and duck and cover coup. That's what I'm thinking. But who knows if what I'm thinking is right. The experts are on the other channel. Anyway, I don't think I've played Hervé before. Nope. I was loving the fact, French flag, rating 1789. It's meant to be. That's too good. So we may get realigns on Iran. If they play into Pakistan, event duck and cover and then coup. Hope for a decent return. And then we'll hold Marshall Plan through the turn. If they force coup on Iraq, which I would not expect, but if they do, we can use duck and cover to coup. No, okay. Okay, so we will event duck and cover, and then coup the one-op in Pakistan. So please not a 1, a 2, or a 3 if we can avoid it. Perfect. So now we can get high realigns on Iran if they don't drop DEFCON toot sweet. Yowza. A powerful coup. We will use Arab-Israeli war to repair Iraq. Yep. We're looking for De Gaulle or Suez in the headline, really. To deal with Europe and avoid being purged, because if we... I suppose we could also keep socialist governments. Oh, bye-bye D-Style. At least it's back in the deck for the turn 3 shuffle. Malaysia, going up to Thailand, fine. So our options here are... we can play the China card and then use socialist governments and Marshall Plan to take France. We'll overprotect Iraq to stop it being tapped. This is a gamble, especially with CIA 5-year plan duck and cover. Duck and cover's gone, that's fine. We're going to do this because we want to deal with Europe. I'm not sure this is right, but so help me, I'm doing it. So as long as we avoid being purged, we can headline socialist governments and then use Marshall Plan to put 4 in France. Okay, this is fine. And we got purge as well, which is very important. So that's fine. Middle East scoring. Purge. Containment Warsaw. UN and Marshall, perfect. Indo-Pakistani war is great for us. So, socialist governments. We'll give them the 2 VPs, obviously. Yeah, they got there. Okay. That went about as well as we could have hoped. And we still got Purge to try and take some short battlegrounds for domination. We can take, if they don't respond quickly, we take Portugal and Turkey. AR6 containment. Drop Middle East for 0. Obviously, with Iraq at 4 and Cuba at 3, they don't have the cleanest of coups, but they at least have one. And by the end of the term, we need to remember to overprotect France against Truman, which we've not seen. And nuclear test bans the last 4-op card, but they have the China card, so we need to also defend France against a 4-op influence plow. If they take a coup, we'll drop Middle East scoring for 0 to avoid paying out on domination before we take Portugal. So we're probably going to lose the race there. But we'll get a blast. And if they have a coup, we get our Milops with IPW, so there's that going for it. Shame we've seen no decol or D-style yet, but such is life. We saw special ratio going in the last turn, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Of course, this setup in Europe makes Romanian abdication a lot harder for them as well. But I think it has to go, if they coup, we drop Middle East for 0 and try and establish domination in Europe at a push, being sure to overtake France by the end of the turn. But of course, if they have Suez and de Gaulle, yeah, okay. Yeah. So now, do we take the coup on Iran? Because we can't establish domination in Europe, yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to lose the race for European battlegrounds. So let's instead take Saudi and Syria for domination. And if they coup and fail, we get domination. If they play into Egypt, we coup there. Yes, that's fine. Because obviously we've still got Indo-Pakistani War for our Milops. And they've now effectively ceded France until late war, where they can get +3 realigns. But now we've got coup Egypt, or if they don't... I mean, they might play into Jordan, I suppose, but that's... I'm fine with them filling non-battlegrounds. So they drop Europe scoring. We will drop Middle East. We're just not going to get a successful, productive realign off there. Yeah. And now if they coup, we've got into Pakistani war. And if they don't coup, we coup. Five-year and CIA is still in the deck, so we're still in minor peril. But if the game comes to a screaming halt on turn 3, at least we'll get our afternoons back. So there's that. So, what's the state of the board? Europe is sadly not dominating. Middle East is shaping up alright. Asia is... barring a flip, Asia looks decent. Okay, good. CIA's gone. Overprotect Thailand. Okay, so we'll have a crack at Panama. Will we? I'm trying to think. The problem with being in Iran is that they can tap it, but they can walk into Burma and India anyway. So if we go... India can... we've got time to do all that. If we walk into India with Warsaw Pact, we can AR6 take containment. No, we've got one chance to take Panama. Let's take it now. Let's get our Milops. Great. Central America's shaping up alright too. And now we can play 2 into India, Indo-Pak War, and then 1 India, 2 Burma, assuming they don't play into Laos right now. If we're greedy, I suppose, we event Indo-Pakistani War and take India with containment without taking Burma. Because we're still going to be 3-3 in battlegrounds. Okay, yeah, they're on the move. It sadly fails. Let's be greedy. Let's bag VPs while we can. Yeah, nice. Greed is good. And now we'll use containment to overprotect North Korea and South Korea and pop 1 in India. To make sure we're 3-3. Will we? No, we won't, because Formosa Resolution still hasn't been seen. We'll use all 3 to take India. There's Ra. Marching up through the Africas. So they only have to take a non-battleground there, but... So the hands are balanced. Nuclear test ban hasn't been seen. Decol, Suez, Cambridge 5, NASA. 5-year plan, Formosa, NORAD, East Europe, and Truman. And France is overprotected. East Germany isn't, so that's a problem if they jam 4 into East Germany. But Warsaw Pact hasn't been. That would be quite a bold gambit, especially with Asia and the Middle East. Yikes. Okay, let's get some sympathetic scoring going. Middle East is pretty sympathetic. Do we also use Cambridge 5 to see what they're holding? No decol. Denied. So they got Formosa, NORAD, East Europe unrest, nuclear test ban, and decol. I make it. Which means I must have missed some cards, because that means they've got more in their hand than I do. Contract cards for toffee. Never have, never will. Well, I guess I'm right, but seems weird. Oh, wait just a moment. I've got 5-year plan as well, right? So without the China card, I actually have to headline CIA. Oh, it's a good thing I saw what discards I had. Because I've got to go CIA, space, duck, and cover, right? Yikes. Yeah. Unless I can successfully space, duck, and cover and 5-year plan. Okay. So, is there any way of them dropping DEFCON? No, there is not. Wow, we have to give them CIA. That's not good. And we get purged as well. Man, maybe it's a good thing we got CIA out. We can at least space, duck, and cover, and then 5-year plan Truman. But yeah, yikes. You'd have to be very bold not to play CIA there, because if you DEFCON suicide yourself, you look like a right mug. Successful. We still get 3 VP though. And we've got a coup target, so we don't even need to worry about not getting Milops this turn. But we're still spacing duck and cover. If they play into Nigeria, we will take Burma. Okay. That's fine. Happy to ditch NATO before a lot of shenanigans. So space, duck, and cover. Overprotect North Korea and South Korea, I guess, against the China card. Got to deal with Africa at some point. Didn't get any access cards, which is really tragic. Because as good as the scoreline will look going into mid-war, and it'll look fine, yeah, it's not as good as all that. Sensible. I guess maybe we hold 5-year plan so we can chuck Africa scoring. So we'll use Truman Doctrine to fill Turkey. Yeah. They've still got a boatload of ops, because they've got the China card and nuclear test ban. Nuclear test, decol, NORAD, and 2 unseen cards. We'll use Suez to coup Cameroon to get our mill ops, and also potentially force them into a counter coup. Otherwise, we gain another VP in mill ops. Although they'll want to get presenceless domination as well, so they're going to want to coup Cameroon at the end of the turn. Although, that means we... Oh, yeah, so decol goes space, that's standard. And they get there. We will space, duck, and cover in response. And we get there. No, we'll use Suez to overprotect South and North Korea. And just coup with the Cambridge 5 to level up on Millops. I really don't want to totally balk. Having overwhelming battleground presence in Asia just for one measly coup. So 5 Suez, North-South Korea, 6 Cambridge 5 coup Cameroon. That'll have to do. But something like Liberation Theology and Central America scoring would be real nice. If we can get there. They're going for it. They got there before we got there. Yeah. Okay. Such is life. But we can... We can't ops war for it, can we, I suppose? Because they've got... they've got the nuclear test ban as well. But we'll fight for a while. I mean, they have to use nuclear test ban to take it cleanly. Ah. So we have to use our remaining op to overtake North Korea and avoid getting dominated, right? That's a shame, but we'll do that. You can tell good players by they're always a step ahead, not a step behind. So this is going to be a race to see who fills South America first. So we didn't get to 5-year away Africa scoring, but we do get Brush War, which is nice. So they finish with NORAD, I assume. Yeah. So we got Brush, which is nice. We got OAS, which is nice because then they don't get it. Okay, so Africa scoring is a disaster of a headline if they play it. But brush warring on Nigeria is kind of garbage. So how about if we play Portuguese Empire crumbles, and if they don't drop DEFCON, we can coup Angola. It will give us presence, so they'll only have domination. 5, 6. That drops it to 5 VP. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, yikes. Don't take brush war, please. Ah! Grain, it pulls 5. Okay. How about that? Although if we've been grain sailed and we're going to lose the China card potentially, do we use the China card early in case of Cultural Revolution? And we have time to repair stuff with Usuri. What if we were to go to Angola? 1 Angola, sorry, 2 Algeria, 1 Nicaragua. Which represents Central America in a very frightening way. And then if they flub their coup, we have time to do more in South Africa. Let's do that. They're going to be enjoying how I am spewing the China card. Right? That's 2 uses of the China card by turn 4 AR1. But having been grained, and I don't really want to use OAS. Okay. So we riposte by... yeah, we're going to make sure we have Botswana for now. And threaten rear lines on South Africa. Ah, Hunter. What a joy. No. 1 in Haiti's fine. I kind of feel like I want to get brush off on Zaire. Certainly before getting missile envid. Ah, yikes. Left it too long. So we get the coup off. I guess they play into Tunisia. That's all fine. Alright, we brush war on Nigeria now. As disappointing as brushing on Nigeria is. Okay. Could have gone worse. We'll finish the turn by putting one into West Germany with Willy. Get our VP. And quickly claim domination. Well, this is poised on a knife edge. If we flip Central America, we win. If we get dominated in Africa and South America, the scoreline levels up. So probably a bland AR6, depending on what they do, where we take Sahara States and Zimbabwe. Very bland. But setting up in such a way that if we can flip Africa domination quickly, that's a good thing. With ABM gone. I have not been following their hand at all, have I? Warsaw, ABM. Indo-Pakistani war, eh? I totally missed that. Smooth. 2 in Mexico. Yeah, because you put 2 in Brazil with Junta. So... AR6. We can try and coup on Nicaragua, but a third of the time we whiff entirely. We can try and realign Brazil, but 3/4 of the time. So about 60% of the time we don't get anywhere. So I guess the coup on Nicaragua is marginally better, right? But the realigns on Brazil are better. Ooh, choices. A third of the time, that's really awful. How much do we want really awful? Alright, with ABM and Brush gone and Hunter, Voice of America's a problem as well, isn't it? We don't want to get voiced out of Panama. So let's do that. That's boring, but effective. Ugh. That felt dirty, which probably suggests it was wrong. Hunter out as well. And we know Grain's gone. Yeah. Yeah. So AR7, barring a complete nightmare, we event Willy to get domination in Europe, snag a VP, and generally put the wind up them. Okay, great. That's fantastic for us. And it suggests they have a second scoring card. I'm happy with that. I'd be even happier if he shows me Europe now. So, okay. That's less thrilling. Oh, lordy. Do we have a way of... Oh, wow. We don't have a way of frigging with Europe to get the win. Oh, man. Do we salt something? We haven't seen... Oh, if only we'd had socialist governments or something. Well, look, we can salt ABM, realign on West Germany and maybe Portugal, and pray we can do something to frig with Europe. Also raising DEFCON, which then means an awful lot of shenanigans can take place around the map. We can use Lone Gunmen to see what they're holding. So yes, salt ABM, Lone Gunmen to see what they're holding. But we're only likely to get to 20 if we space puppet government to get 3 VP, which we're not getting through... Alright. Let's put Lone Gunmen in, because we still have a chance to coup on Brazil to get access to Venezuela, see what they're holding. Being bear trapped is bad for us, so again, getting a coup off might be good. Okay, so they're ploughing into Asia. Transportovich, I owe you an apology, because obviously you will definitely have wanted salt, ABM, realign Europe. Asia and Africa scoring. But us not as well. D-style again, and they're able to chuck it. Ye gods. What a time to get Arsenal. Okay, so we have to coup. We have to do a one-op coup in Zaire to then use flower power to repair Asia. Yeah? Enough. Yeah, that's fine. If they should look to flip Africa first, I guess, unless they're going to plough India. Crap. Oh. Okay. Knowing they have Africa and Asia, we could jam Europe and hope to distract them. We're basically now hoping to run out the clock before South America scoring hits us hard, right? They've only got How I Learned and Emit. Yeah, so let's threaten Europe, because they need to spend 2 ops there. We'll hope they think it's a distraction. It isn't. At some point they have to ask not, right? So hopefully we can out-tempo them in Europe and win the game that way. And they've got no scoring card points. So if we can win the foot race in Europe, next is Emit. How I Learned to Tap. If I've got Europe, good game. You said it. Time to ask not. Looking for a tell. I will speak not, my good man. Indeed. I was aware of that. It is indeed good game. We got there. That's a nice big win. Well, that was a pleasure. Let me know if I could have done even more. Obviously, someone has already pointed out, turn 3 headline, I should headline Middle East scoring, and then event CIA, because they're unlikely to have anything that can really frig with Middle East scoring. Well, the Defectors is back in the deck, so... Well, okay, I'll end my stream. We'll let ActionRoundZero talk. Many thanks. Yeah, great. Okay, great, fantastic. Yeah, well, thanks for coming by. Let me know if there's other stuff. Alright, brilliant. Until next time. Thanks again.